It's fast. It's cheap. It's everywhere. SHEIN, the Chinese fashion giant, went from a tiny online store to the most downloaded shopping app on the planet, beating Amazon, beating Walmart, beating everyone. But behind the $5 tops and 24-hour trend cycles, there's a story few are talking about. One of labor exploitation, lawsuits, political pressure, and a possible crash landing. This is the rise and potential fall of SHEIN. SHEIN was founded in 2008 by Chris Xu, a Chinese entrepreneur with a background in SEO, not fashion. The goal? Build a fast fashion empire optimized not for the runway, but for search engines and social media. At first, SHEIN was just another online shop selling wedding dresses and general apparel. But Xu understood something few others did at the time. The future of fashion was speed, and speed would be powered by data. What made SHEIN different was its business model. Instead of creating massive collections every season like traditional brands, SHEIN would launch small batches, sometimes just 100 pieces, track how people reacted, and then ramp up production only if the product gained traction. This test and repeat model allowed the company to minimize waste and maximize profits. And when paired with its ultra-efficient supply chain in China, SHEIN had an unbeatable formula. Then came TikTok. In 2020, during the pandemic, TikTok exploded. So did online shopping. SHEIN was in the right place at the right time, and they knew it. Influencers started posting massive SHEIN hauls, showing off dozens of items in a single video. Some were wearing a different outfit in every frame, all from SHEIN. The company leaned in, offering affiliate programs, sponsorships, and even flying influencers to luxury events and brand trips. By 2022, SHEIN was valued at over $100 billion. That's more than H&M and Zara combined. And it was the #1 shopping app in over 50 countries. But behind every billion-dollar empire, there's always a cost. Reports began surfacing of poor working conditions in SHEIN's factories. Workers sewing clothes for 18 hours a day, just 1 day off per month, earning as little as 4 cents per item. A 2021 undercover investigation in the UK showed facilities violating Chinese labor laws and basic human rights. Some workers were producing up to 500 garments per day manually. At the same time, accusations of intellectual property theft were piling up. Independent designers all over the world began noticing SHEIN selling copies of their original designs, often within just days of them being posted on social media. Some showed side-by-side comparisons. Others sued. SHEIN responded with denials and vague statements. But for small creators, it felt like fighting a giant. Then came the environmental concerns. SHEIN's production model may reduce inventory waste, but the ultra-cheap materials, short clothing life cycle, and massive volume of shipping create a different kind of problem. According to some estimates, SHEIN ships more than 300,000 packages per day. Most of those clothes are made from synthetic fabrics, like polyester, which don't decompose and contribute to microplastic pollution. In fact, many of the garments bought during haul videos are never worn more than once. Some go straight to landfills. Others get returned, but not resold, because it's cheaper to trash them than to reprocess them. As criticism mounted, so did political pressure. In 2023, SHEIN announced plans to go public on the US stock exchange. But politicians in Washington weren't thrilled. Several lawmakers called for investigations into SHEIN's supply chains, citing alleged ties to forced labor in the Xinjiang region of China. They demanded that the SEC block the IPO unless the company could prove it wasn't profiting from unethical labor practices. At the same time, groups like the National Retail Federation and independent watchdogs began questioning SHEIN's use of the de minimis loophole, a legal gap that allows them to ship small packages to US customers without paying import taxes or going through normal inspection processes. In short, SHEIN was making billions, while skipping many of the rules traditional retailers have to follow. Meanwhile, a new competitor was rising, TEMU. With even cheaper prices, flashier marketing, and aggressive ad spending, TEMU quickly became a serious rival. And unlike SHEIN, it sells everything, not just clothing. Suddenly, the empire SHEIN had built looked vulnerable. To defend itself, SHEIN launched a wave of public relations campaigns. They introduced a resale platform called SHEIN Exchange, encouraging customers to buy and sell second-hand items. They claimed to audit suppliers more frequently. They added a transparency center on their website, and they invested in global operations, opening logistics centers in the US and Europe, hiring international staff, and even trying to shift production away from China to reduce scrutiny. But critics say this isn't about sustainability. It's about survival. The IPO is still being planned, but its timeline is uncertain. Investors are nervous, politicians are watching, and consumers? Well, they're split. Some say SHEIN gives people affordable access to fashion they couldn't otherwise afford. Others say it's fueling overconsumption, harming workers, and damaging the planet. What's clear is this: SHEIN changed fashion forever. It redefined what it means to be fast, not in weeks, but in hours. It built a retail machine that lives and breathes online, driven by algorithms, social media trends, and Gen Z spending habits. But can a company built on maximum speed slow down enough to survive? Can it truly become ethical, sustainable, and fair, while keeping prices low and styles endless? Or is SHEIN simply too big, too fast, and too controversial to survive in the long run? What do you think? Is SHEIN the future of fashion, or a digital disaster waiting to happen? If you found this story interesting, give this video a like, subscribe for more deep dives, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.